What's happening, YTPC? Well, it is Saturday. Saturday morning-ish. Could be wrong. 1 minute. Saturday afternoon. Don't even know where time's gone today. Got up early this morning. Had to take the truck to the windscreen place again because it was leaking. So they fix it. It leaks. When craftsmen can't do their job correctly, it shows how good they are at doing it, doesn't it? But we'll smile about it, eh? Shocking. Absolutely shocking. And then they said, if it leaks again, you'll have to fetch it back in midweek. So I said to them, well, you'll be paid. I'll be charging you for a day rate on truck, lad. Disgusting. But it's Saturday. Do you know... I'm not going to have a rant. I'm not going to have a rant. It's such a miserable world out there, isn't it? Negative news. Oh, my God. Oh, I nearly swore there. Cheer up. Good God. You live on this planet once. Innit? You're here for such a short time. You've got a right long sleep afterwards. Enjoy it, man, while you're here. God. And it just astounds me. The negativity news, the crap that's going on all across the globe. You're telling me the leaders of the nations are happy? They must sit eating the bacon sandwich on a morning going, God, it's crap, innit? Cheer up, man. Sort it out, you idiots. Anyway, happy Saturday. Oh, pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. I am. I'm just like, oh, man. But Mrs. Trucking sat in house, right? Never stopped smiling. Always smiling. Very rare that she's got Mardies on. And if everybody did that, oh dear. Anyway, we've got a VR. We're doing a VR for the Piper's Mantle. Mr. Dan Rendell, the author, and he's at well over 500 subscribers, and he's doing a giveaway, and it's a beautiful giveaway. Now I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 of my Myth and Magic figures with the Swarovski crystals. There's Bilbo with his pipe. Big pipe, that, innit? Or is he small? I'll leave that thinking to you. Could be a big pipe and a small person. Could be a small person and a big pipe. What, Stanwell? I'm just going to rab it on. I'm not bothered today. I'm happy. Got that rubbish out of the way this morning. I've had a chat with Big Smoke on phone. Video phone. Doing a job for me. Bless him. He's a good man. So yeah, I'm good. I'm happy. Been a rubbish week at work. Couple of good days, couple of long, awful days. But the middle boy, he turned 20 this week. We've had Valentine's Day. I mean, and again, innit? Go home, get home, smile, be happy. Stop being miserable, stop chunting at each other. And I'm not going to get involved. So, we're doing a VR for Dan Rendell because he's got 500 and odd subscribers. And I'm smoking. What he's asked is, who's your favourite character from Tolkien? What a question. So, I'm going to be smoking my church warden, Stanwell. And I've got some old Toby. Now, aromatic this. Don't do many aromatics. But this one's in the collection. Whoa! Oh, Greg on the tunnel take. You like this, mate? It's Virginia and Cavendish Burleys. And I've had this since last July. And they say aromatics don't... It's just... You could drink it, you could eat it, you could sup on it. It's sweet, it's brown sugar, it's... They reckon almonds and things, but I can't smell no nuts. There's a few out there that could smell some nuts, but I can't smell nuts. Oh, it's just... I do like an aromatic now and again, but it had to be done today. It's Old Toby. I think they've changed the name to Tom Bigby due to copyright issues with miserable people around the world who think that Old Toby belongs to them, that name. But hey ho, there used to be a bloke in our village called Old Toby. We can't call himself Old Toby anymore because copyright have said you can't call yourself Old Toby. She's called Young Toby now. So we're going to top this pipe up. But yeah, Dan's asked, who's your favourite character from Tolkien? Now then. J R R Tolkien had a life's work. And there's more to J R R Tolkien than the 4 books of The Hobbit, The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. Now, this man was... His mind must have been immense, clever. One of the Inklings, along with C.S. Lewis. He developed languages. Now, this is what it throws me. He developed a whole world, Middle Earth, with all its different segments. And he developed languages. He developed the Orc language, the Dark Elf language, the Dwarf language. His works are vast. Now, I know a lot of people might not have read the books. I know a lot of people will have read the books. But The Hobbit and the trilogy of The Lord of the Rings is just a tiny, tiny tip of the iceberg of the whole thing. So you're probably looking at around 70 years of Hobbit to The Lord of the Rings. That's the time gap. The rest of it before that, you've got 3 ages, the 3 ages of Middle Earth. And the characters, the history, the family trees, the development of elf, dwarf, man came last. And it's all there, the history of Middle Earth. And without this character that I'm going to go with, you wouldn't have any of the story. So my character, Dan, for the VR, Sauron. Without Sauron, from day one of the First Age, going through all the thousands of years of the First Age, thousands of years of the Second Age, thousands of years of the Third Age, you wouldn't have The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. He's been there from day one. Now, Sauron was a Valor. Like, it's a lesser god type character. Originally, he was like kind of second in command. He was a lieutenant to Morgoth. Now, when you read the history of Middle Earth, Morgoth, he weren't very good. He kept getting captured by elves. Sauron never got captured. He did get defeated a few times. He won a lot as well. And he had the power to change. He could basically be what he wanted. The Vikings used to call them tricksters. So if he wanted to be an elf, he could turn himself into an elf. He was like the head werewolf as well. He had a army of werewolves back in the First Age. Vampire. And there was thousands of years of battling, toing and froing, battling with the elves. Obviously developed the orc army. And then eventually he crafted the rings. Well, he didn't actually craft the rings. There was a smith that crafted the original rings. It's all very, very complicated what Tolkien did. And the original rings were to go to the elves. He wanted to control the elves because they had magic and mysticism. And he wanted to be able to control that power. But the elves sussed him out. So thousands of years later, that's when he did. And by this time, Morgoth's been captured again and scooshed off to the land of the elves, Valarian, and Sauron's completely taken over. He's in charge now. And that's my original copy of The Fellowship of the Ring. Got it in 1986, so I was 13. And I was about that age when I got it and I read it. And because he knew he couldn't control the elves with the original rings, he changed them. And to change him, and to control the next set of rings, he put all his power into the one ring. Well, not all of it, because if he had to keep some of his power so he could be. But he put a lot of his power into that final ring to control the other rings. And that's where that little poem comes from. Now, I'm not going to say it in Mordor language because I won't be able to do it. But the 3 rings. 3 rings for the elven kings under the sky. 7 for the dwarf lords in their land, in their dwarf lords in their halls of stone. 9 for mortal men doomed to die, and 1 for the dark lord on his dark throne, in the land of Mordor where shadows lie. 1 ring to rule them all, 1 ring to find them, 1 ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them, in the land of Mordor where shadows lie. And that's when we've got that tip of the iceberg kicking in after all those thousands of years. So without Sauron, there would be none of it. And that is my favourite character of Tolkien's. Look after your families. Happy Saturday. Put all those world's problems behind you. Have a smile and have a laugh. Ta-da.